Uh, Hello there. My name is 18 Nicho, and today I am joined by my wonderful co-host.
MJ!
Are you going to, who's not going to introduce
I said
themselves?
MJ. Did the mic not pick it up?
No,
Oh no, I said it too quietly. I thought I was saying it loudly.
no, you, the mic didn't pick it up, so
I'll try to enunciate things. I think my mic has been trying to cut out a lot of sound recently. I need to get either a new one or fix my settings.
you could change, quickly go into Discord and change your settings. So, do you have auto detect or
Let's see what I have on right now. Do, do, do,
so
do, do, do,
if you have
do,
auto detect, I would recommend turning that off.
do. Oh, the input sensitivity thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll nudge that off. How do I sound now without it?
You sound fine.
Okay, then chill.
Okay, back on track. Yes. Yes.
Back on
Today,
track.
joined by my wonderful co-host, and we will be having a meeting of the adopted children today, as Stella Blue and Kita Tesla make an appearance. Well, finally interact. So, MJ, what is Stella doing?
I believe he's probably like. I can only imagine he's at Naara's house because he like had like a bad encounter with some villains last night and got more roughed up than he will ever care to admit. So he just sort of trudged on over to Naara's house, raided the pantry, and then crashed on like whatever assigned guest room he has. And by now, I assume it's morning or perhaps getting near evening. Actually, who knows how long he slept in? And
Yep.
he's finally emerging, trudging towards the kitchen once more for another snack.
Yes. And Kita at this point is up until recently they were being taught various things by Nara. It's like, oh, okay, you need to learn how to do this and this boring thing and this boring thing. And then after a while, Kita's like, oh, this is so boring. So they've snuck off and are currently grabbing some snacks so that when they go back to hiding, they have food. And I suppose that's a good spot for the two to meet.
Yes, like I can only imagine like the pantry is sort of like a big rich person pantry, obviously.
Hmm.
Like maybe double doors. So like Kita's reaching in and like still rounds the corner and sees that it's open and it's like stop to wait for whoever's getting a snack to get it. And then just sort of like pauses when he sees that it's not someone he recognizes. I'm trying to remember how to do Still's voice. uh, Hello?
And that Kita is going to freeze. Look, just do the slow cat thing of just do the cat thing of slowly looking over. And then they're still going to just keep reaching in and grabbing food.
Just still watching them just slowly grab food, and he's just sort of like standing there. I imagine his hair, well, his feathers sort of like messed up since he just crawled out of bed. Probably still like dirt on his uniform from his fight the prior night. He's sort of like not entirely awake enough to know how to interact with another human being, or I guess Toon.
Mm-hmm.
So, who are you?
Who are you?
I asked first.
I'm Kita Tesla. I'm Nara's apprentice.
Oh, okay. Another one of Nara's adoptees, and he sort of does air quotes at adoptees, since technically he's an adoptee, but he wouldn't really call himself one. Uh, okay. At first I thought maybe you were a random person who broke in to steal from Nara's pantry, but that would be a very bold move considering who she is.
Mm.
And then he sort of blinks and realizes he hasn't actually introduced himself. And I'm he like puffs out his chest. Stellar Blue, hero of Toonkind.
What would I roll to see if Kita actually know has heard about him?
I kind of doubt it.
I'm gonna roll a history. 13.
I'm not sure that. I feel like it would have to be above a 15 since he's still like a newbie.
I would say Kita would probably recognize him not as a hero, but just from Nara talking about him.
Who knows what that sounds like?
Kita just gives a slow nod, like, "Ah, yeah, Nara told me about you."
Still sort of like cricks his brow at that, like, oh, she did? Then he like glances
Mm.
awkward to the side and says, what did she say? Actually, you know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
So as this is going on, Kita's so slowly just grabbing things.
Just more and more snacks, just emptying out the cupboard.
And then, like, yeah, with their armors full, they're just slowly, like, still staring at him, just slowly trying to walk away.
And as they slowly like inch away, still sort of inches close to get to the pantry as well, and just like grabs a granola bar. So, nice meeting you. And
Mm-hmm.
he just sort of has no idea how to proceed with this. He just sort of like glances to the side and says, "So, I guess I should just like, I was sort of a forceful adoptee." He does air quotes again. You good here?"
They pause, and Dad's like, "Well, I was just grabbed from a cafe and brought here,
He just sort of
but
like goes slackjaw at that.
I think I can leave when I want."
Then he just sort of like closes his mouth and has an unimpressed like not directed at Kita but more at Nara's whole spontaneous kidnapping ideal. Yep. That sounds like how Nara would work. What interest did she have in you anyway? Since she's kidnapped. I mean, yeah, let's just say kidnapped me and my friends to go on a quest a while back.
Currently, she's training me to replace her as whatever she does.
I think Are you aware that's being a crime lord?
Vaguely. I don't know the details, but like,
Still, it's just sort of like looking at you, like trying to figure out if you should explain the details or not. Like clears his throat and says, "Well, that maybe you should look into the details and run for the hills if, say, you perhaps find those details extremely distressing, because you'd be doing crime, which is
he just,
bad."
I know. I'm expanding my horizons. They give like a very nervous smile. As how old is Stella?
He's like 30 in a tune sort of way.
Kita's like 13 or 14.
Oh my god, just I think he's like squinting at them for a different reason now. And like, wait, how old are you anyway?
I'm a teenager.
You're Naara kidnapped a teenager to become her apprentice in crime. Is that what you're telling me?
When you say it like that, it makes it sound like she did something very bad.
I I mean, it's certainly not super legal or suggested behavior. I'm gonna have some words with her later. And like he gives like a definitive point.
So, if you're a hero, right?
Yes.
Then why do you deal with her then, if she's a villain?
It well, it's it's kind of complicated. In a way, it's not complicated at all, but it is kind of, it both is and is not complicated. So, I accidentally got invited to one of her parties at one point, and then, she's a bad guy, but I don't quite, you gotta work up to villains like her. So, it seems kind of better at the current point in time to, work not with her, but not against her. I mean, I can't save people from purse snatchers if I'm dead from fighting crime lord who's hundreds of years old or whatever, you know?
He just gives a slow nod. Hmm. Yes, I understand where you're coming from. As they just think over to Belle, the literal devil, who they are technically sharing a room with.
Me who doesn't know any Bell or just as clueless as still.
Yeah, so they're just and they just slowly begin putting the food into their just hammer spaces. They just stuff it into their fluffy coat.
Just, I feel like Stella's just sort of like, once again, just silently standing there awkwardly. Just to make sure, like, Kita wasn't saying that. Yeah, okay, Kita was thinking that internally, right?
Yeah.
Good, so still doesn't know that. It would be a hilarious thing to mention, though. At some point, oh yeah, roomie with the devil.
Yeah. Yeah, he's great to sleep on in winter because he's just a big ball of heat. But
Okay, Okay, so back to what's really happening. Kita,
Yeah.
hammer spacing snacks. Stell standing awkwardly watching Kita hammer space snacks.
You haven't seen Nara around lately, have you?
I
As
haven't seen her since I've come in since last night. She's always probably around somewhere at one of her houses. Like, I'm not even sure if she's currently at this one.
Kita just goes over to the door and just carefully looks out before just slowly, quietly walking back over. I'm currently meant to be learning something.
Like, Stell leans in, like, conspiratorially and says, "What are you supposed to be learning, and why are you avoiding it?"
It's very boring, and it's paperwork stuff.
That fiend! Making you learn evil paperwork? Like, he quirks another brow, like... He thought if she was gonna be, like, teaching Kita crime, it would be something, like, at least kind of fun.
Well, she's saying because if I'm going to be the heir, I need to learn how to manage her entire, you know, empire. So I need to know how to do all the paperwork and such. But it's so boring.
Stealth just sort of, like, makes a flat sort of, like, face, like, huh. Yeah, I mean, you could just go. I'm just saying, you could just say, "Hey, I don't want to learn this. This is boring," and just go become, like, a baker or something, not evil.
Can't really be a baker.
Why not? What's stopping you?
They just reach into their coat and they pull out. And then we pull up the list. One. As they just pull out a cat dressed up like a little wizard. Like, cardboard hat, little cloak. It's like, these guys would get in the battle.
He still, like, like, gives an unexpected laugh, like, what? Wait, I feel like I've met someone who pulled cats out of nowhere before.
No,
So,
wait.
is a thing, or did I meet you before, or someone else have that skill?
I don't know. As they just pull out another cat that is black and white, little green vest, and there's placed the pair on the counter. It's like, yeah, I don't think we've met.
I don't think so, but to be fair, I'm kind of awful at names and faces and
Mm,
people in general. But anyway, he gestures to the cats. Okay, maybe you can't kick the kid off as a baker, but you could open one heck of a cat cafe.
I mean, really, well, same issue. They're gonna try and eat the food.
He like taps his beak like. Surely there is some way to prevent the cats from eating all the food. Since I mean, I know cat cafes are a thing that exist. I suppose
Well,
though it usually isn't full of cats pulled from a hammer space. Like, do you know where these things come from? Gesturing to the cats.
I'm pretty sure they're technically nature spirits.
He
As
just
they just kind
looks at them
of
with wide
poke
eyes and then
one.
glances at the cat's again.
Yeah, they just hold up the little space bulb they have hanging from their belts. Like, they seem to be attracted to this. They like being around it.
Huh. So, let's just gloss over the fact that you just have a bunch of little nature spirits that you can pull off your coat for some reason. So if learning crime is boring, why are you bothering to go through with it? Since, I mean, to be fair, not saying I was a criminal at any point in my life, but if I, like, say, had been raised by a criminal family, I think, they would have started out with something a little more amusing, like, distracting people with cute little acrobatic performances so they could, like, rob a bunch of people's wallets.
That's what I thought as well, but it's like I'm not joining in as a thief or like a criminal. I'm the next in line, so it's like, yeah, that's good, but I'm not going to be, like she said, I'm not going to be doing that often. It's like I need to, again, I need to know how to run things so that when she wanders off into the sunset, it doesn't immediately start burning because no one knows what to do.
Huh. Huh. Wait, is Nara getting bored? Is she gonna actually quit? I thought she was just at this forever at this point.
She might be. I think she might be trying to retire.
Huh.
I
I
don't
don't know
really
whether to feel
know.
glad about that or terrified of what will come of her empire if she's not the one in charge. Since,
Hmm.
I assume, a criminal empire, main domino wanders away. Who will maybe you are the best bet since you seem reasonable. You probably wouldn't make it like any worse of a criminal empire. Like, I mean, talking worse as in more evil.
He did the drugs. It's like I'm not sure what's going to happen.
So yeah, me neither. It seems like a lot. Like, I just don't understand why she would pick a random teenager though. Like, I get that you're young and moldable, probably, but I'm not sure I get that. Not that I get running a criminal empire in general. Nara's sort of an enigma to me.
I mean, you could always go and ask her, but then I'm gonna have to go back to studies. I don't want to do studies. As Kita just slumps over a counter.
Yeah, uh, still thinking about how he hasn't really had a proper schooling since he was like an early teenager. Ah,
Kita, this is the closest thing Kita has had to a proper schooling. They haven't been to school.
neither one knows how to handle the boredom of paperwork or school-like
Mm-hmm.
work. I think Stella just like without anything else to do, just like starts like awkwardly unwrapping his granola bar, but it's making like this horribly loud crinkling noise in the silence.
Like, yeah, say the two cats that are currently out just wander over, and then out just staring up at him.
He's just sort of like awkwardly fighting the wrapper while making direct eye contact with them.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, he gets the granola bar open and just like slowly like moves to take a bite while still maintaining eye contact. He's starting to sweat a bit. He's like he does set up that these things will steal food.
Like one of them just reaches up and just places a paw on his chest, like what reaching for the granola bar.
No, 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 no. Not for you. Not for you. Oh, nature spirit from the coat.
But I imagine that you gently push down on the head
You're just sort of like
After a
pushing
few
its little
moments,
nose down.
after a few moments, just reaches back like, okay, you seem to have gone my way. Let me just try this again.
It's just so. I imagine it starts becoming like a game of whack-a-mole since both are trying to get at him. So it's like he
Mm-hmm.
pushes one down gently, the other one rises.
Mm-hmm.
No, 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 not for you, not for you either. Not please, please. I just want to eat.
Yeah. Yeah. After like Peter just watches this go on for like a minute, it's like they're gonna wander over and then just pick them back up.
Oh, thank goodness. I thought the assault would never end. And Stella's obviously being melodramatic here. Like, has an arm over his head.
At least it's only two. You should try doing it when there's 10 of them.
Why would you bring out 10 at one time?
They come out themselves.
Oh. He just, like, warily looks at the coat now. Who knows how many kittens could spring from there?
I think, to answer your question from before as to why, I think just I want to feel like I'm in control.
Ooh, getting deep there. But I mean, I guess that's a fair feeling to have. You know, I became a hero because I wanted to help people and feel like I'm making an actual impact on the world.
Uh, in my experience, that's not always the best thing.
And what is your experience? Sort of side-eyeing them now.
I'm sure you've heard this story before. Kid, you know, kid gets chosen for some super important mission that only they can do. By the end of it, they've been changed.
Yeah, I mean, classic hero. Were you like a chosen one at one point?
They just slowly nod,
Well,
and they just hold up the the bulb. It's like, and as they just seem, they just do a little voice like, Kita, your mission is to save this land. Only you can do it. Blah blah blah.
just to make sure, is that Kita doing a voice or is that the orb saying something?
No, that's Kita very much doing the old putting on a voice of, oh, I'm a wise and important old man, blah
Haha.
blah blah.
I think like Stella's sort of sympathetic and also sort of his brow is furrowed, but in a way that has sympathy. Ugh. I feel like I'm kind of dodged a bullet, never being summoned by some weird old guy. Hero by choice is far better, in my opinion.
Mm,
And by choice, I mean your choice, not some random sword or orb or whatever have you.
yeah, they just nod. It's like, yeah, that's part of why I'm doing a lot of things. Is I just want to feel like I'm in control of my own life.
That's fair, that's fair. Like, I questioned Criminal Empire as the best choice for you. Uh, for anyone, really. Frankly, I feel like it'll be a stressful job with, like, a lot of complicated moral decisions to make. Uh, but I get in general wanting to, choose your own thing and figure yourself out. I mean, you're still young. Like, don't fence yourself in. Whether it's because an orb told you to do something or a random crime boss picked you off the street.
I'm also currently an adventurer for this
Yeah,
guild. Yeah, that's the place.
yeah. I passed by there one point and went on a little quest. All I got was a T-shirt.
Mm, I didn't get a t-shirt. I want a t-shirt.
Ha! I'm sure
I'm gonna
there's
go
like
test out.
someone you could ask for a T-shirt. Like, part of me is tempted to give. Still take the T-shirt out. Hold on. Like still reaches into his inventory and takes out. Let's see if I can. Well, I have to pull up the little list I wrote his inventory stuff on. Bloop. Do, 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 do. As he pulls out the lousy T-shirt. The shirt is a plain black T-shirt with bold and underlined yellow lettering. I can't believe I dived 2 miles for this shirt. He just sort of holds it up lamely and then says, "There was supposed to be treasure down there. But there was just
Mm,
this shirt."
isn't treasure meant to be, well, really anything's a treasure if you look at. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna. As they start trying to say, something about like, oh, treasure is, not actual treasure, but what you discover along the way, only to realize, no, that's stupid. I don't agree with that.
It's sort of like the reassurance, but lame reassurance. It's like still sort of huffs and says, "Do you want this T-shirt?" Since I mean, I've basically been using it as pajamas so far.
Well, I would probably just give it to one of the cats. Or...
Figured. And he like shoves it back in his inventory with a huff and says, like, I mean, it was sort of a fun quest though. It wasn't really a quest. Like I just wandered around a town with someone and we made fools of ourselves and then found a kelpie. And got to read the kelp. I mean, the kelpie part was really the most impressive thing.
I once ended up in a storybook. That was fun.
You ended up in a storybook.
Yeah, a little pug. He was gonna come to us for. We were gonna do star watching with him, but then something happened to the stars. So we went into a storybook and we fixed it by replacing the stars.
That that sounds frankly impressive.
Hmm.
Oh, you
And
know, there's
Kita just mumbles to themselves at this point. I really am losing control of my life.
He's still, was trying to talk, and he just sort of pauses since he heard them mutter something, but he kind of spoke over them, so he didn't catch it. Then he like clears his throat and says, "But yeah, there's a lot of adventures to be had in the world that, you could become a full-time adventurer. Who needs to have a boss or a mentor or an orb or anything? You could just do what you want." And uh, he then thinks about how he's currently doing what he wants and doesn't really have a home. He's trying to gain money to buy an apartment, but
I just, yeah, it's still trying. He's like, I look at me. I'm doing what I want. I'm perfectly happy.
and then it's just like there's these eye
Homeless, beat
bags.
up, poor, filthy. He just slowly just stares at me like, when was the last time you took a shower?
He looks down at himself, looks back up at them, and says, "I should not have said that before bathing this morning. I regularly bathe. Like, you can see he's doing some calculations in his head. Oh, once a week? But I have lots of cologne and perfume. It masks the smell." It
As
works.
he's saying this, Kita just reaches up and just licks their paw for wiping it on their face.
Ah. He sort of like squints at that. And then, like, I am a bird. That's not gonna really help me.
Well, no, this is just Kita cleaning their own face.
Still took it as a suggestion.
No, Stealth. Yeah, Kita doesn't want to. Doesn't want to go near him.
No. Still thought they were like doing it to show that he could clean up space. That's just Still's interpretation. He's wrong about a lot of things. Don't worry.
So, how did you meet Nara?
Oh jeez, how did I meet Nara? Hold on. Yeah, I just mentioned. So I got this like invitation to a party, or I guess it was supposed to be for someone else, but I got it. So I went to the party, and it was one of her parties. And then, jeez, the details get a little fuzzy. But then we like, I don't know, ended up talking about our pasts and like not so great family stuff, and kind of bonded. And then I don't know, she just never really went away.
Hmm.
Suppose I'm not helping things by constantly crashing at her house, but I mean, it has a shower and a pantry and a really, really comfy bed.
It now has cats?
Also has cats now. I mean, it kind of always has a cat if you count Nara. Just sort of imagine them like blankly like blinking at each other like
Hmm.
You good?
Yeah, I'm. I might ask Nara if she can help me. At some point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of she's sort of weird. It's like, do I want her help? Not exactly, but she does help, so it's sort of weird.
Hmm. Well, it's more. Uh, my old house where I used to live when I was a kid. Kind of want to go check that out, but it's quite a while away.
Well, if you need like an escort, I pretty much do whatever every day, so I could help you out.
Mm.
Then like Still's brain still's quick together and like, oh wait, do you want Dara to come with you? Like, I mean, she's a busy lady, but I'm sure she would make time for her new protege.
Mm. So what do you normally do?
Uh, you know, wake up, eat, go on patrol, fight crime, patrol some more, fight more crime. Usually, like, encounter some random guy who has a quest, go on a quest, uh, rinse and repeat. He leaves out all the times that he's eaten floor.
At this point, Nikita just slowly takes out like a packet of one of the snacks. It was like, this has gotten awkward. I don't know what to do anymore.
Still just sort of like, oh, so awkward. Like, I just like imagine just like really trying to figure out how to interact with this teenager, since it's like, would it be rude to continue to try and dissuade them from listening to Naara if that's sort of like, they're clearly trying to figure themselves out. I think he just like awkwardly keeps chewing on his own granola bar. And then like clears his throat and says, well, I'll be around if you need help going back to your old home. What was your name again?
I'm Kita.
Kita, right. I'll remember that. He like taps his forehead and then like slowly steps back away. Anyway, I'm gonna go shower now. See you around. Don't commit too many heinous crimes. And he just like sort of awkwardly laughs and just keeps walking away.
He just slowly just eating the snacks like. At this point, I'm just imagining like Naara finally comes in.
Still just managed to miss her.
As Kita just like looks up at her, and then with a sigh is just picked up by the collar and dragged back.
That seems like a good place to wrap up.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, this was fun. Clearly our characters had an awkward time, but I enjoyed the interactions.
Yeah, it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for watching.
Yes, and I guess we'll be having a part 2 with Nora, actually, at some point.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so bye.
Bye-bye!